Alright, lads, so Deontay Wilder, right? Now, he is... Look, enough I've already said about that man. I've said me piece on it. I've gone in full steam on Deontay Wilder for the absolute BS he's been talking about. But, right, he's still talking, as he will, as I'm sure he will. And he's been saying that if he doesn't get the Fury Trilogy fight next, who he wants to fight. Right? It's funny, right? He named Dillian Whyte as his number one opponent. And, you know, this is a man who a couple of years ago, and I'll quote, said Dillian Whyte is a peasant, he doesn't chase peasants. So, you know, times change. I think he named Andy Ruiz number 2. I'm going to skip number 3 because I get to that now in a sec, because that's the one you'll really be interested in. He then said at number 4 he wants Joe Parker. I know at one stage there was talk. Remember they were in pictures after Wilder fought. What was the guy's name? Oh, what was his name? Washington. Remember when he fought Washington? Him and Parker were backstage taking pictures at the time. Parker was WBO champion. And 5th, interestingly, Alexander Usyk. Now that's a style problem right there for Deontay Wilder. I think Alexander Usyk could give Wilder... Yeah, Wilder would be in trouble against Usyk. Not in terms of being concussed, although I'm sure Usyk hits hard enough to hurt Deontay Wilder. Just from a style point of view, the movement, the technique of Usyk. Number 3 is a funny one. I mean, like, you got Dillian Whyte, Andy Ruiz, both credible opponents, both very credible opponents, right? And he puts Robert Helenius in at number 3. I mean, really? Robert Helenius got knocked out by Jared Washington, right? I know he's coming off the back of a win over Adam Kalnacki. Go and look at any videos I've ever made about Kalnacki. I've always covered him, but I've always said that I've always felt that he gets a little bit too much praise because he's very open, he gets hit a lot. He's just a kind of better Chris Arreola, if you know what I mean. Like look, he is. He's a fat guy with a bit of hand speed, but he's got no defense at all. And for all of Helenius' flaws, punching power isn't one of them. I mean, Helenius has many flaws as a fighter, and even more so now because he's way over the hill. But punching power was never one of them. Right? Now, that's the list that Wilder gave. The interesting thing about that list, in my opinion, is where's AJ? Where's Anthony Joshua? Because he's saying that if he can't get the Tyson Fury Trilogy fight next, these are the guys he wants. Well, surely number 1 on your agenda would be Anthony Joshua. I mean, Anthony Joshua is a unified world heavyweight champion as well. So you get a world title fight back, and then if you beat him, you get undisputed with Fury. AJ is the biggest payday. Would he be bigger payday than the Fury Trilogy fight? I mean, yeah, maybe they could market it in such a way that it's dangerous for AJ, so maybe they could get a bit more money. But you talk about a bigger payday potentially than the Fury Trilogy fight, because Wilder's not going to get as much in this Trilogy fight as he did for the rematch. Make no mistake about that. Or maybe even for the first fight. Make no mistake about that. Right? So, AJ's big money, world titles, a guy you were offered 2 years ago to fight. You were offered $100 million to fight Josh. You turned that down. How? How do you justify turning that kind of offer down? And I remember, as I said before, when AJ lost to Ruiz, right, Wilder was the first guy out there, you know, saying, oh, he lost, he's this, he's that. Mate, that could have been you beating him. You didn't beat him. Randy Ruiz beat him. That could have been you for $100 million. Madness. Absolute madness from Deontay Wilder. This implies to me that he is not at all confident about going in there with the elite. And AJ and Fury, you would consider them two the elite. Because Dillian Whyte, stylistically, like, the only one, the two lowest, which would be Joseph Parker and Usyk, will be the two that would kind of bother Wilder the most. I mean, Usyk more so than Joseph Parker, although Parker could cause Wilder some issues in there, no doubt. The other three are pretty well suited to Wilder. Like, he beat Helenius, I think he beat Ruiz. His feet are too slow and he's too open. Likewise, Dillian Whyte. I just find it interesting there's no AJ there. I'm assuming that his confidence has been, like, it definitely has. Like, he can give it all this, he can talk all that smack, you know, he can front, he can do all that, but at the end of the day, I reckon his confidence has just been knocked by that Fury rematch, and he doesn't want the rematch, in my opinion, the trilogy fight, in my opinion. It's his team. Shirley Finkel, Al Heyman, JD's who want it, right? With AJ, I'm sure he looks at AJ and thinks, do you know what, right? AJ's technical, you know, he can box on the inside. Could he replicate what Tyson Fury did? Probably, maybe not as well, but he certainly is a big puncher, and I'm sure Wilder's probably doubting himself going in there against someone like AJ. You know, at this stage, you still give Wilder a puncher's chance against anybody. But like, if this was 2 years ago, I probably would have picked Wilder to beat AJ. But now, AJ all the way. AJ all the way. It'd be a stinker of a fight though. AJ would be extremely cautious against Wilder. He would be, because he knows he can be hurt, and Wilder can hurt him with even a semblance of a right hand. So he'd be cautious in that fight. But Wilder's not mentioned them, so I'm assuming Wilder, just from taking that into consideration, probably don't want that smoke with Anthony Joshua right now, or Tyson Fury. In terms of Wilder come back to the ring, I can't see it unless it's against Fury. Really, maybe he wants to, but maybe his team are thinking, do you know what, we're eating off you. We don't want to put you in there with a Kalnaki. We don't want to put you in there with Hellenius. I mean, you're going to get a couple of $100,000. We're going to make F all. The show is going to take a hit. We want you in there against Fury. Obviously, they want fans in attendance. They need fans in attendance for that. They'll make whatever couple of million they can get, and then they'll be like, see you, Deontay. Thanks for coming. They can carry their careers on. Shirley Finkel, Al Heyman, etc. They can carry on their careers. Wilder's gone. You know, he's finished after that. Like, he's not boxing career after that. If he wants to continue it, I mean, Jesus, he's not going to make much if he loses the trilogy fight, which assuming he will. So anyway, I went on a bit there. Hope y'all got something out of this. Hope you enjoyed that video. I really do. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. Yeah, a bit late uploading that. I was actually going to record it last night, but that live stream went on a bit longer. That live stream was amazing last night. I mean, damn, that live stream I done last night was amazing. I was going to record this then. Then the news broke about Canelo and Callum Smith, and by then I was just knackered. So we're getting to it today. Alright, we're getting to it today, right? And obviously I'm going to record some more after this. I hope you all enjoyed this. If you did, as always, people, smash the like button, subscribe of course if you're new to the channel, hashtag Gmans Rocks, King of Ripped Jeans, all that good stuff. I'll talk to you all. Peace.